How about that? Normally we get an echo when we put it that high, but anyway, the Awareness Committee had a speaker by the name of Dylan Smith, who was the grandson of Don Wagner, and spoke about artificial intelligence. And we had a lot of people afterwards came up and said, can we bring in an expert to talk further about artificial intelligence? So I'm very proud to announce our expert as Margaret Dalkey. Thank you, Margaret.
Thanks, Bob. Is this echoey? A little bit? Okay, let me turn it down. I don't know about expert, but let me try this again. How's that? Better? No? Too quiet? Try that here. How about now? Where's Kate? So I'll just use the handheld. Now? No? Better? Testing, testing. Can you hear now? Okay.
Turn your phones off.
Oh yeah, turn your phones off. Please, thank you. Okay, I am going to do just a basic overview of AI for those of you that are really interested in this. If you already use AI, it's okay if you get up and leave, because this is going to be a very basic overview of just how to start using it. So, if you already use Gemini, Copilot, ChatGPT, this may bore you, because I'm just going to go over how to get started and kind of what it looks like and the ways that you can use it in your everyday life for necessities, or if you just want to use it for fun. So today we're going to be exploring 3 different types of AI. There's Gemini, there's ChatGPT, and then there's Copilot. Those are kind of the 3 biggest ones that you see out there. There are surely other ones, but these are kind of the 3 big ones, and I will kind of talk about how to get into those websites and what you can do within those. So just AI, artificial intelligence, that's the abbreviation for AI. Think of it as a very smart computer program that can learn and think like a human, but really, really fast. It's designed to understand what you mean, answer questions, even help you be a little creative. You may not already realize, but most of you are already using AI. Raise your hand if you have an Alexa device in your home. AI. Raise your hand if you use Google Maps to get somewhere, Waze, or if you have the GPS in your car. Version of AI. So you're already using it in your life. I hear a lot of people say, I don't want to use that AI stuff. Well, you're kind of already using it. If you have Siri on your phone and you ask Siri a question, AI. So, why should you care about AI? There's really some great benefits for you. You can get information instantly. I have one of those new Alexas that has the screen at home, and for many of you that you know about me, I've got a baby. I've got a baby in one hand. I'm cooking dinner in my other hand. I can ask Alexa something. She will give me the answer instantly and give me maybe a recipe that I can look at without even having to put anything down. So Alexa is super, super helpful for me. It asks questions about anything. You get clear answers. It helps you stay organized. It can help you, you can set up reminders. You can make a list. You can plan activities. It will do all of that for you. You can learn new things. Ask questions that you don't know. It'll help you with writing things as well, which I'll kind of show you up here with the different websites. It help me draft emails, write a proposal, write stories, write a letter. It's wonderful. And then also it kind of sparks creativity. It'll help you brainstorm ideas, discover new hobbies, and many, many more things. So today we're going to look at 3 popular AI programs. There's Gemini, which is created by Google. It's great for everyday questions, planning, getting information across Google's knowledge. So Gemini is powered by Google. ChatGPT, that is created by OpenAI. This is a powerful chat program that can write, summarize, and brainstorm with you. Then there's Copilot. Copilot is created by Microsoft. They describe it as your helpful assistant integrated into Microsoft tools, making tasks easier. So if you have a Microsoft account, then usually Microsoft Copilot is linked to that. So all the staff here at Monarch Landing, we have email through Microsoft. So we already have Copilot integrated into our email and into our systems. So Darshil always asks staff, if you're going to use AI, do Copilot because we already have the software for it. So they're knowledgeable and patient friends that you can chat with. Okay, getting started. How to access these 3 specifically. Often, which I think is the easiest, is if you have a computer or internet, often via a website in your internet browser. So if you use Chrome, Edge, Safari, the internet, you can type in those 3 and you will get the page that you can type in your questions to AI. So the website, I use the computer the most to access these. Some have mobile apps for smartphones and tablets, which you can download on your phone. I have downloaded ChatGPT on my phone, and I have not downloaded, I don't know if there's an app for the other 2. There probably is, but I just have ChatGPT downloaded as an app on my phone. Most of the time you'll have to sign in, so you'll have to create a username and password. There are some of them, like ChatGPT, that you can use not logged in. However, after a while they tell you got to make an account. So you have to usually make a username and password or tie an email to it. And they're usually free accounts. So I've made all 3 and they're free accounts. They of course have upgrades sometimes where you can pay to get the upgraded version, and you can get X, Y, and Z with the upgraded version. For now, if you're starting off, the free is perfectly fine. So Google account for Gemini. You'll need an OpenAI account for ChatGPT or a Microsoft account for Copilot. And then, once you make an account, there's usually a chat box that pops up, and I'll show you up here in a little bit, and that's where you type in your questions. Then all you do is either press enter or press enter on your phone and it will give you an answer. It's like sending a text message to a friend. You hit enter. After typing, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button, and it will usually give you an answer. What's great about it too is if you don't like the answer, you can keep sending more and more clarification questions to it, and it'll get more and more specific, which is really great. So that's one of the things I think on your handout is be very specific on what kind of questions you want to ask. And we'll kind of go over some examples as well. Okay, deep dive into Gemini. So if you want to try Gemini, that is created by Google. What it does, it uses Google's vast information to answer questions, plan trips, summarize articles, and even will Gemini, you can go to gemini.google.com. You can also use the Gemini app on your phone if you download it. A lot of times now, if you go to Google on your browser, it usually will have, if you type it in there, it will automatically kind of generate using Gemini. Some things that you can try is you can ask, what's the weather like in Naperville tomorrow? Give me 3 easy dinner recipes using chicken and vegetables. Plan a simple day trip to a local park. It will do that for you. As a busy mom, I sometimes will look in my fridge and all I have is chicken and maybe a cucumber and a red pepper. And I'm like, what am I gonna make for dinner? And I will ask it, okay, make a recipe with these things in my fridge. And it will give me a list of things that I can make. It's wonderful for me. So this is Gemini. ChatGPT. This is the second one that you can use. What it does, it excels at writing, brainstorming, telling stories, and explaining concepts in a conversational way. When I use ChatGPT, I find that it has sometimes more humor in this app. Sometimes it's a little too silly for me if I'm writing, an email or I have to write a proposal. Sometimes ChatGPT has a little bit of humor when it comes to answers sometimes. But not always. I just find that personally. So how to access ChatGPT? You can go to chat.openai.com or you can download the ChatGPT app. I believe it's called OpenAI. Once you download it, you usually have to make an account. Then you can start typing in your questions. You could say, write a thank you note to my neighbor for helping with my garden. You could also ask it, explain how a smartphone works in simple terms. Or you could say, give me ideas for new hobbies that I could start. So this is ChatGPT. Third option is Copilot, your smart Microsoft assistant. Copilot is integrated into Microsoft Edge. So you can use the Microsoft Edge internet browser, or if you purchase the Microsoft package, it's one of the Microsoft 365 apps. So if you have the whole Microsoft package with Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Publisher, then you already have Copilot. It's just another one of those add-ons. Copilot helps you with tasks right where you're working. So, how to access it? You can go into Microsoft Edge browser, look for the Copilot icon. It's usually a purple ribbon or a square on the right side of the browser, or in the Microsoft 365 apps if you have the Microsoft subscription. Simple things to try. You could say, summarize this page for me, or what are the main points of this article? In Microsoft Word, so if you have the subscription of Microsoft, let's say you're writing something in Microsoft Word, you could say, draft a letter about, or rewrite this paragraph to sound a little more friendly. So it can help you right where you are, which is really nice. Going into all three of these, sometimes I use all three. I will write the same question in all three AI browsers, and I like to see which one gives me the best answer. Sometimes they'll give me, I like a little bit of this, and I like a little bit of that, and I like what this came up with, and I kind of merge them together. So if you're starting off, I say just pick one, but once you get a little more tech savvy, try all three. They will give you different kind of results based on which one you're using. So tips for talking to AI, making the most of your conversation. Like I said before, be clear and specific. The more detail you give in your question, the better the answer will be. So, let's say you're using Gemini on your computer and you type in, "Tell me about dogs." Well, your answer could be a few pages long. Instead, be more specific. Say something like, "Tell me 5 interesting facts about golden retrievers for someone who might want one as a pet." This will narrow down the search. Remember, AI uses everything that's kind of humanly possible in the internet world. So it's gathering information from thousands and thousands and millions of different places. So if you narrow your search down and be more specific in your question, you'll get a better answer. Then you can ask follow-up questions from your original question. So just because you ask one question, that doesn't mean you have to be done and just settle with what they tell you. You can ask it follow-up questions. So you could say, "Can you make that shorter? Make the answer shorter." Or, "Give me another option. I don't like that answer." It will come up with something else. What's really fun too is you can experiment with it. Don't be afraid to try different things. There's no wrong way to ask something. So when you're trying this out at home, ask it something silly. It's okay. You can ask it pretty much anything. So have fun with it. Also remember though its limitations. AI learns from data, but it's not always perfect. So always double check information with reliable sources. Please don't AI question a medical question and then rebuttal your doctor, you know? You can ask questions about maybe something that you have, something medically, but don't rely on it, please. Because again, it takes information from everywhere. You can ask something like, "What are the symptoms of this medication?" And that might be helpful, that you can, follow up with your doctor on. Like, "Hey, I asked, ChatGPT, what are the side effects of this medication?" And you can ask your doctor, but don't use it solely just for medical purposes. Also financial questions too. You can ask it financial questions, maybe get a little more information, but don't solely rely on it, please. Remember, it doesn't have any personal feelings or real-time awareness of current events unless specifically designed for it. So, again, doesn't know what's going on in the world. Okay, online safety and privacy, important reminders. Protect your personal information. Just like everything you use on the internet, you gotta be careful with your information. Never share sensitive details when you're typing in things into AI searches. Never put your social security, code in there, your credit card information, because like anything on the internet, everything is stored somewhere. So please be careful with that, and don't put those things into the chat. Verify your information. Always cross-reference important facts from AI with trusted sources. Like I said before, your doctor, government websites, or news sites, things like that. It's not perfect. AI can sometimes make mistakes, or they call it hallucinating information. And also, use secure connections. Ensure you're using AI programs on a secure internet connection. So, there are some other AI, websites out there. There's now, because this is becoming such a big thing, there's other websites that are saying, "Oh yeah, we also do AI, use this website instead." So I personally recommend use the ones that are pretty reputable, like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. Always look for the HTTPS ... in the website address. Make sure it's a good website. And then your date. Understand that your conversation may be used Oh, it's supposed to be data. Your conversation may be used to improve AI, but your personal identity is usually anonymized. So, just be careful. Okay, all of these questions that I have in the next couple of slides, I actually put on the back side of your handout. So I'm not going to go over all of these, but these are some types of questions that you can experiment with when you're trying AI. So there's health and wellness questions. You can ask it, what are some gentle exercises for seniors with knee pain? You can ask it technology questions. You know, maybe Darshell's running around the building and you want to try to fix something yourself. You can say, can you walk me through how to attach a photo to an email? It will give you step by step, which is really nice. It has other questions like home and garden, financial and legal questions, you know, what are the benefits of Medicare Part D? Travel and leisure, you can use it for fun. Find information on senior discounts for train travel. Suggest some travel packing tips for seniors. Learning new things and hobbies. Suggest some classic novels I might enjoy reading. How can I learn a new language like Spanish at home? It will give you some tips and some websites. And it goes on and on and on. I mean, it's endless with the questions that you can ask. All right, before we get into questions, I want to show you the 3 websites so you just see what they kind of look like. So, this in front of me is Microsoft, come back here.
Yeah, that's
Microsoft Copilot. It was Copilot. There we go.
I don't know. I asked you a question.
So Microsoft Copilot, again, Monarch Landing employees have the Microsoft subscription. So this I didn't have to make an account for, and it's already built into my computer. So it just says, hi, how can I help? Right here is where you type your question. So, what kind of question should we ask it? How about,
Can you speak it in?
can I what?
Speak the question in?
If you're using it on your phone, yes, you can speak the question. That's a good question. Yes, you would just press the microphone on your phone instead of the keyboard, and you could speak the question. I don't know if I can on here. I'm sure if I have my microphone set up. Let's take one of the questions that I have in here, and I'm just going to type it in. What are some gentle exercises for seniors with knee pain?
I want to go.
And then you can either press enter or press this button. And it's thinking. Whoa, whoa. Ooh. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. Okay, let's go to the top. What did it give us? Here we go. Here are some gentle health professional recommended exercises for seniors with knee pain. So see the knee exercises, it tells you what to do. Sit in a sturdy chair, slowly extend one leg, hold for a few seconds, then lower, repeat 10 to 15 times, and it tells you the benefits. Strengthens the quadriceps without weight-bearing stress. And it gives you a few more exercises. You can print this off too, which is really nice, or you can copy and paste it. So it gives you all these different things. And then what's great, look, it gave me some videos too. Helpful video resources from YouTube and some other websites that I can click on and I can watch a video. And then it gives me tips for safe exercise, warm up, use support. Here's some other videos. Okay, I like that. I could also say shorten that, and it'll shorten it for me. Or right here, It will give you some follow-up questions if you don't know what else to ask it. If you're happy with that, good, you're done. If you want something more specific, like exercises for somebody that just had knee replacement surgery, you could be more specific and say that. Or they give me 2 follow-up questions. Can you suggest a weekly plan? Or what are some stretches for knee pain? Again, you can follow up more and more and more and more questions. I will take questions in just a second. Let me just do the other 3 and then I will get to you. All right, so that is Copilot. Chat GPT. I don't use this one as much, but again, same kind of format. ChatGPT.com. It's the same kind of search button. Mr. Merrick, this one actually has the microphone on this one.
I know, I used it,
Ah, okay.
but I didn't see it on the other one.
No, I didn't see it on the other one either. So maybe that's the benefit of ChatGPT. It's got that integrated, I can actually speak something in, kind of like Alexa. I like that. Oopsies. Cancel. Oh, okay. Now, I'm not going to do this one, but again, it's the same thing. Type in the question, press search. It will might give you something different. Then Gemini. Gemini is the same thing. Right here is your chat box. Now I did something silly, and we just need a laugh, don't we?
Yeah.
So I put, create a photo of a happy man riding a bike. Okay, and look what they gave me. This man is not real. He's just a random created thing by AI. He looks pretty happy. He's riding a bike. And then I said, right after that, I said, make him a senior. And they go, okay, here you go. That's pretty nice. Maybe I'll use that on a flyer for the bike club. I don't know. And then I said, okay, let's have a little more fun. I said, make him even happier. And they go, woohoo, he's really happy. And then I said, even happier. He's never been happier in his life. Again, all just made up by the funny AI. And then I said, make him so happy that riding his bike is his life. And then it kind of like didn't make it that great, but okay. I like this one the best. Having the time of his life. So it can even create photos. It's kind of neat. It'll just generate something completely whatever you want it to be. Again, the search is down here. And like I said before, you can ask the same question in all 3 different platforms. See what they come up with. See which one you like the best. Some people have a preference, I like Gemini, I like ChatGPT, I like Copilot. I personally like Gemini, even though at work we're supposed to use Copilot. But I personally like Gemini. The younger generations, I feel like ChatGPT. Jessie, you like ChatGPT? Yeah, she's younger, see? But yeah, it's really great. Again, you can use it for pretty much anything. Okay, next steps. So, what you can do on your own is go home, try it on your phone. If you've got internet on your tablet or your iPad, you can do it that way. Do it on your home computer. I would recommend, if you're brand new to this, pick one AI program to try. Just pick one and try a few simple prompts. I gave you some prompts on the back to try. Practice makes perfect. The more you use it, the more comfortable you'll become. And then again, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask a tech-savvy friend, a family member. You can ask me, Darshel if he's available. Chessie's pretty good at it too. Probably better than me because she's younger. But just try it. There's no kind of mistakes that you can make. Just remember, don't put in personal information like your credit card or things like that. And then also, if it's something medical or financial, always follow up with a real human. If you liked this presentation, it wasn't created by me, it was created by AI. So, that was the beauty of this. Mr. Rickard asked me if I could do a follow-up on this. I knew information, but I couldn't piece it together in my head, so I had friendly AI help me with this presentation, and it created it for me. So that's wonderful. Okay, question time. Questions. I know it was a lot, but I want to give time for questions. We've got some questions.
On the, when you were on the first app where you asked, like the exercises for a senior with
Yes,
needs,
yes.
and then it brought you a bunch of them there, and then you said, okay, you can ask them to shorten it. Where would you ask them? Go in the chat box again?
Yep. So it's kind of like, think of it like texting a friend. So if you asked that, then it gives you that answer, gives me this whole answer, here it is, and then I would just say, make this shorter. You just keep chatting it.
Okay, so continue.
And then it continues. Here's a shorter version of gentle exercises for seniors with knee pain. And look, it made it much, much shorter. So then you can just keep asking it. If you ask a follow-up question, it remembers you're still talking about the same question. It will switch answers when you type in a completely different question. So you don't have to close it out and open it up for a new question.
Okay, just in that chat box.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, Mary?
I already have, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I already have a booklet of passwords. Now, do I have to make a new one for AI? Or can I use the same password that I'm using now?
For Google, you can.
For Google, so for Gemini, Mary, do you have a Gmail account?
Yes.
Okay, with Gemini, since Gemini is powered by Google, when you go to the Gemini website, it will ask you, do you want to sign into your Google account? So that's what I did, is I said yes, and it'll already tie those two together. For Copilot, if you have a Microsoft subscription, you can tie it to that. The only one you'd have to make a new username and account or password with would be ChatGPT. But if you have Gmail already, you can already tie it to that email and that password. So you don't have to create a new one.
So how do I start out on the screen?
Okay, hold on, let me show you. Let me just go to here. No, that's not right. Gemini I think it's google.com. No, hold on. What is it? Yeah, it is. Gemini.google.com. Right? Here it is. So let me log out. Hold on. Okay, so I went to gemini.google.com, and right up here in the top corner, it will say sign in. So if I click that, you can sign in using your Google account.
That
So,
be my email?
yep, that would be your Gmail. So you would type in your Gmail, so this is my Gmail. Type in my Gmail account, and type in my password. Oops, now it's verifying. But yes, use your Gmail email, and the password associated with your Gmail. That way you don't have to make a whole new one.
Okay.
That's what's good about that one.
Is that the same for each of them?
No, just for Gemini.
Just for Gemini?
So I would recommend, Mary, if you already have a Gmail account, stick with Gemini,
Okay,
just for now.
okay.
If you want to get fancier and try ChatGPT and Copilot later, we can help you get those installed.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question. If, I've written a document in Word and I wanted to see if it can maybe, better wordsmith, I assume I've got to copy and paste it into the Word box.
Yes. So if you use Copilot, Copilot is kind of, what's the word, merged into the Microsoft apps, so that you don't have to copy and paste it, I don't think. But for the other ones, yes.
Yeah, well,
You would have-
yeah.
Yes,
I don't have,
yes,
Microsoft
Yes.
360 or whatever it is.
correct. I don't think you can attach anything, no. Might be able to attach some things. I don't think so. No, not right now.
Margaret,
Yes.
I use, excuse me, I use the Grammarly program,
Mm-hmm.
and that runs independently,
Mm-hmm.
and it will give me clues on improving emails,
Yes.
letters, anything I'm typing.
Yes. I think that's one of them that they have on the handout.
Yes.
Grammarly, yes. It's more specific towards writing assistance, but yes.
Yeah, it's marvelous. It'll say, do you really want to say that?
Yes, yes. Grammarly is another one. This is Grammarly. Helps you find the words you need to write that tricky email, to get your point across, or to keep your work moving. Kathy's an author and a writer, so Grammarly is probably great.
Invaluable.
Yes.
I know you answered the question in your presentation, but
It's okay.
it went right past me.
That's okay.
Do you have to have Microsoft 365 to use Copilot?
I want to say you,
No, you don't.
No?
If you have Microsoft Student, you can use it.
you have
And that's what
Microsoft.
typically we have, is Microsoft Student.
Monarch has it
If
for,
you've got Microsoft package, typically you have Microsoft Student, because you're not paying for it, right?
so what if you don't have Microsoft Student?
Then I don't think you can use it.
So you have to have.
Here, let's ask AI. Why don't we ask it? Hold on.
It's smarter than you.
Do you have to have Microsoft subscription to use Copilot? Let's ask it. I have no idea. It's a bit nuanced, but generally, yes. A Microsoft subscription is required for the full experience of Copilot. You can use free Copilot, web, Windows. You can use basic version of Copilot for free without a Microsoft 365 subscription. So you can. Sometimes though, they'll time you out. I don't know if this is for all of them. I can't remember which one. But after I used it for a while, they were like, that's it. You're done with all your searches until you make an account. So, but see, look, we can ask AI. Other questions? Let's go back to our happy man. Any other questions? Yes?
I know that AI gobbles up information. from all
Yeah.
Sources, right?
Yes.
Does it gobble up anything from the dark web?
What do you mean by dark web?
The dark web is where all the bad stuff is. First, I'll explain that where it's at. I had an email a few years back, and it was, you had to, pay a fee to get your package.
Oh, like scams, you mean?
It was a scam,
Ah,
and I bid it. I
usually,
got it.
yeah.
And I gave him some information,
Mhm.
and I suppose all that information is now stored on the dark web.
Ah, I see. Yeah, it won't scam you. if that's what, like it won't, the answer won't generate and it won't be like, click this link to win a free cruise. It won't do that, but again, like the internet, you've gotta be careful because you're right, it stores it, but it won't scam you, if that makes sense.
So
And
it probably has my name and address and telephone number.
yeah, like anything that you search and use the internet, it will store it somewhere into the world, which is why you gotta be careful with, don't put your credit card number in there and things like that, but,
Well, my niece told me, don't ever do that again.
yeah. And again, use known AI websites, because it's such a popular thing now, if you search it, there's tons and tons of websites that will say, oh, this is the best AI website ever, and you don't know where it's coming from. So again, always look, if you're out using the internet, always make sure it's got this HTTPS. Okay?
Thank you, Margaret.
Yes, thank you. Yes? Right, right here, and then right behind Larry.
Lee, your other right.
Lee, your other right.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Good. I used ChatGPT when it first came out, and I asked it to write a biography, because you wanted one for a talk I was giving.
Mm-hmm.
And it said that I was a serial entrepreneur from California with a PhD from the University of Berkeley.
Ooh.
I thought that was cool.
Probably found another Lee Merrick, or merged a couple Lees together.
Yeah, and then did it 2 years later, I asked the same question, and it was spot on this time, without hallucinating. So be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, yeah. But it also kind of shows that it's,
Improving.
yes, it's improving. It's taking more and more data and fine tuning it. It's kind of cool. Question here? Yes.
I've been using ChatGPT for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good.
was afraid of it in the first place in the beginning, so I used one of those emails that you put junk in.
Uh-huh.
That was my real one.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to get a subscription to it, but I don't want another junk email.
Okay. Do you have a different email that you wanted?
I do. Then it'll lose everything that I had in the other one.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way around change. I couldn't figure out how to change.
There might be a way to merge them, but I'm assuming because it's attached to that email, that if you want to use a different email for the subscription, I mean, you could AI ask it how to merge them together, but I have a feeling that if you're making a completely separate account, then you might lose all the information that you asked before. Unless you save all that information, like if you just keep both accounts open. Keep the one with your old email, with all that good stuff, don't close it, but then make a new one with your new email with the subscription account, and then you just have two, so that way you don't save your old stuff, but all the new stuff is on the subscription. That's what I'm thinking.
It is really nice that it knows everything.
Yes, yeah.
I've been president of Lions Club, Rural Lions Club for a long time. There's a ton of stuff that in that
Yes,
that's useful to me.
yes,
But it's cutting me off now, so I need to.
yeah. I would say make a new one, but then keep that other one as a side, then you got two. Yes, Dan?
Yeah, it says somewhere up there that you could use it to learn how to use different apps. Could you or Darsha or somebody use it to put together like a training manual for Unigas, for FullCap, to the other software we have here for people?
Yeah, yeah, so you can, I did it for, I'm trying to think of, for something, maybe it was for those that use the projector, I did like a how-to. There's another website which is really great that a lot of businesses are using, it's called Scribe, and it will make like how-tos for new employees. So actually I used Scribe. Now that one you actually have to pay a subscription because a lot of businesses are using it now for onboarding. It's saving a lot of time, especially with so much turnover with employees of, okay, we have a new employee, now we have to totally train them again, and then they leave, and then we have to train somebody else. And it's so much time wasted that more businesses are using Scribe, and it's everything that you could possibly need to train that employee in a handbook that's created by AI, which is really neat. But yeah, we could, for things like how to use full count, how to use Unigust, we could put that information into AI.
How do we initiate that process here?
A My Monarch idea. Yes, put in a My Monarch idea. Put Darshall's name on it. Not my name, no. Put Darshall's name on it, and we could, I mean, I'm sure Sarah and Tara would like that too, for all the new residents getting launched on the full count in the dining portal, yeah.
You know, I want to emphasize, it's really a practical tool. For example, for some reason Comcast voice and picture was out of sync. So I said on AI, I said, for some reason, my Sony TV and Comcast voice and lip service is out of sync. Can you tell me how to fix it? Like that, it came back and said, go to Comcast, go to the settings, go to this, and immediately I could fix it. For some reason I had this Sony remote and I couldn't get the back cover off. I said, I got a Sony such and such. How do I take the back cover off? Like that, it told me how to do it. So it's very practical. I probably use it once a day at least. And you know, you could always pull out your instruction manuals. You could always call Comcast or something like this. But it's just 1,000 times faster. So I want to emphasize it's practical. So try to use it. And one more thing is, and she's going to shoot me, Bob Rickard is considering, that we might even have a workshop where you would bring down your phone, bring down your PC or your Apple, and we would help you to load it on and give you experience with it.
To piggyback on that, once school resumes, we're having a new group of high school students coming once a week to help with technology. We did that in the past, but we've got a new set of students now that are going to be coming on the weekends, I think on Saturdays for an hour or so. Once a week, maybe every other week, twice a month. And the best people to ask these questions to are young people.
Yeah.
So I've talked with the student that is in charge, and she said, yeah, we could absolutely help them with either navigating it via website or downloading the apps. So more to come on that. August probably, when they come back to school. Maybe September.
One more comment. If you really get depressed, you can say, geez, Copilot, how are you doing today? And it will actually come back and say, I'm doing pretty good, how are you doing? Now, that means I'm going nuts on AI, but please consider it. And I like the idea of the students, we'll keep you advised when they'll be here. Can we even have it up here and have little setting areas, Margaret? Yeah, we can.
Okay.
And so that you're not bashful about, getting on it. Any other questions?
Yes, I was just wondering if you would put up your presentation so that we could read it again?
Sure. I can put it up on Unigust, probably under information, under life enrichment. I am recording it, so I'll throw up the video too. And yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's give her a big hand.
That's a bit there, it's a big discussion. Spit it all out and send it to you. It made it into an outline. It made it an outline. If I wanted to make a copy,
I like it. I love it. I agree. Thank you. You're thinking of yeah. I use my the pad on my fingers. Everything. I never take my earrings out. If I do, I use computers to put the backing on. I have my ways around things.
What I would like to do.
Hi, Mr. Shine.